Hey, Amy here with APP in Conway, and our question for the day is, why did Christ actually have to die for our sins? This is one of those discussions that could easily get into some texts that Christians always know and always use, so I'm going to try to not use too many of those. But in talking about this, there are two perspectives to consider. One is androcentric, and the other is theocentric, and you can probably guess what those mean. But androcentric is the human viewpoint, and from my perspective, Christ did have to die to save me from my sins. And so everyone knows Romans 3:23 that talks about all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But there's something else, a pre-existing condition, that even if I was perfect and never sinned, I'd still be born into sin. You can look up Psalms 51:5 for more on that, and Jeremiah 17:9, which talks about how our hearts are full of evil. So no matter how hard we try, even if we didn't sin, we couldn't change our condition. And that's what Jeremiah 13:23 talks about. Can a leopard change its spots, or the Ethiopian change his skin? These are things that we'd love to change about ourselves, and we can't overcome them. And like my friend Juanita was just talking about, we can change behaviors and we can suppress our nature, and I think a lot of us are really good at doing that. But to actually be a new man, a changed creature, we can't do that apart from Christ. The interesting part about this discussion is the theocentric viewpoint, which we talked about in class a little bit. Why did God require honking horn? Why did God require that Christ would die to save us from our sins? Why was there not another way? And we threw a lot of ideas around, and I think my brother brought up the fact that it's kind of the ultimate sacrifice. If God had to do any number of other, 2,500 jumping jacks to provide a way out for humanity, it wouldn't mean as much. And so death for us is kind of the ultimate, especially a suffering death. And so God couldn't give any less than his all, just because of his nature, and that's why he asked his son, and his son readily agreed to be that plan B. So we're all sinners. We as sinners cannot be in God's presence because he's holy. His holiness will not allow him to help us up while still being the justifier. He can't justify us and still himself remain sin-free, and so he had to provide that substitution so that we could have a clean slate. So there's lots more to this, and I hope this is just enough of a discussion to make you want to check it out more, especially from God's perspective. We don't talk about that a whole lot as a church, and that's really the more interesting side, is to see why couldn't he have picked something else? Why didn't they create a plan that didn't involve death at all? So happy studies, and see you next time.